the adverse policies that we have witnessed for years against Black males in particular has a cause and effect reality too. The figure comes from the CDC. CDC data in total across genders, Black Americans have seen their overall rate climb by 53% between 2014 and 2024. That's more than 10 times faster than white people in the same study and twice as high as Latinos and Native Americans in the same study. Black children, young men age 16 to 29 are dying by unaliving themselves at a rate that is higher than whites and young men, despite the fact that across all age groups, whites are nearly twice as likely to die by unaliving themselves than Black men.
Shalom. First of all, I'm giving over on to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai by Shem Rakakatash. Double on the teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone, likewise, brothers, one of the truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep and two brothers and sisters. Doing Shalom. Today's lesson's title, It Shall Destroy You from Within. Now, you saw in that opening clip where, statistics is coming out, data that more and more so-called young Black men are offering themselves, basically deleting themselves, or suicide, and why is this happening? This is happening because we in those times where the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is judging his people, the biblical Hebrew Israelites, so-called Blacks and Americans and Latinos and Hispanics. Now, of course, the focus is always on the so-called Negro because, Judah represents, the head of the tribes, or Judah is the head tribe of the children of Israel, so-called African Americans. And, when you're talking about slavery and, injustice and oppression, the image is always that of a so-called Black man. But keep in mind too, this is happening with our brothers and sisters, of the Northern Kingdom tribe, which are the so-called Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So today I'm going to show you two clips, of course, and we're going to go into the scriptures because it's not as simple as it appears on the surface as to why you're seeing this is happening. The Lord Yahweh Shemashah says he's going to get rid of 2/3 of his people, through sword, famine, pestilence, the beasts of the field, and of course those who he's going to reserve for the lake of fire, and he's doing just that. But keep in mind, because the prophets always bring out, we are still under those curses. When you go to the book of Deuteronomy 28 and start verse 28, it reads, The Lord Yahweh Shemashah shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Now a lot of people are committing suicide, and we're going to focus on the children of Israel, for this lesson. It's because when you have your mind set on success and being love here in Great Babylon, America, and it falls apart, you lose everything. You lose that job that you spent your entire life trying to work hard for. You find yourself now in dire straits on the streets, homeless. Your family abandoned you, your friends abandoned you, people ignoring you because, let's face it, the face of the stress and, a loser is really the so-called Black man. We're the image or the poster child of being a loser, a total loser here in Great Babylon, America. So people have grown accustomed to that. Even our own people look at us and go, yeah, I didn't expect that nigga to be anything like that. So, people don't regard our life as anything when we fall or we get depressed or hurt, because to them, you have no value. Let's go into the book of 1 John 2 and start verse 14. It reads, I have written unto you, fathers, because you have known him that is from the beginning. I have written unto you, young men, because you are strong, and the word of power abide in you, and you have overcome the wicked one. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So what happens when you lose everything out there, when you don't have the job anymore, when you don't have the big house or the cars, or you don't have the career that you desired, or the friends or the companions around you? Okay, you're lost, because you don't have who? The spirit of Yahweh Shai inside of you to keep you through those times. And like we always say, this is going to be a mental game, a big mental game. This is the reason why you're seeing people are turning to, self-deleting themselves, because what else is there to turn to? Okay, things didn't turn out well. Okay, and this is just the beginning of sorrows. Continuing, it says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of power abideth forever. Meaning what? Okay, we're here in Great Babylon, America. We are, okay, and this is a punishment that we get. However, if you are part of the elect, or you are awakened, okay, to the truth of who you are and why you're here and why you're in the position that you're in, okay, this is going to be a little bit more easier on the mind. Okay, it's going to be less of a mental stress on you, because you realize that this has to take place. Because why? We know the Mashiach is going to return and set up a heavenly kingdom. So that means what? The current kingdom or the current rulership has to be destroyed. Okay, in fact, when we go into Micah 2:10, and this is something we always tell Jakes, okay, and we remind ourselves about this too. Okay, it reads, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. Mentally, personally, I've experienced it. I know several others that have experienced it. Okay, where you have that sore destruction. Okay, and it's a mental thing. Okay, because we're basically in this wicked kingdom, okay, Great Babylon, America. Jake is not meant to win. Keep in mind, from those curses from the Deuteronomy 28, is that everything that we put our hands to, somebody else will prosper. Who's that other somebody? The so-called white man. Now people can argue and go, well, white people are committing suicide, and other races are committing suicide and all that stuff like that. Yeah, but I don't care. Okay, this is not about them. This is about the children of Israel. Okay. We're preaching so that our people can hear, okay, to repent and turn to Yahweh Shai. Now the gospel will go across this earth so that the other nations will know, okay, that you've had your heaven in this, under this rulership, okay, with Esau, and this is Esau's heaven, and you've thrived, okay, under Esau's rulership. But in the kingdom, okay, for that first 1,000 years, you're going to go into slavery and subjection to the Hebrew Israelite. Let's go into Matthew 6 and verse 19 before I show you this next clip. And it reads, lay not up for yourself treasure upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through or not steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Hey, this isn't to say you can't have a good time or you can't have something good. The Lord isn't looking to have his men, okay, or his chosen people, okay, living, eating all the garbage or whatever the case is like that. It's not to do with that, okay? So this isn't you having to be a beggar in order to be holy, okay? But at the end of the day, okay, each and every brother who is in truth and sincerity in this ministry understand that what we have is temporary, okay? So I'm going to show you this video clip, and then we're going to continue forward.
Hello YouTube fam, how y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. The suicide rates in this country are at an all-time high. People are giving up fast. They're tired, they're angry, they're frustrated with life. Their way of living has changed. They lost their job, their house, their kids, their wife, and every damn thing else. Family members done deserted, them, and every damn thing else done happened, man. They done got sick, and, nobody there for them, and shit, life just seemed like a wash at that point, man. It's changed out here, man. It's not the same, whereas, it seemed like your fellow man cared about you, man. Now it just seems like everybody is out for themselves, man. And This is what's pushing that suicide rate up, man. Family done walked away from you, man, even though you never had a problem with drinking or smoking. Dude, you know, you pay medical bills because someone that you love is sick, and man, they passed away, and you in debt, and you just, you know, shit, lost your will, man. You out on the street, you bad out there because you ain't got no habits or nothing. You just out on the street. People don't see none of that. People don't care about that.
So you saw in that video clip, okay, you had that individual there, okay, he's talking about it because I'm quite sure he's, you know, engaged with a kind of crowd that, you know, where rumors are swirling. But obviously it has gone to that level. You've seen the TikTok videos, the Instagram videos, the Facebook videos, the YouTube videos, where people are just crashing out in their vehicles, okay? And we're focusing on the Hebrew Israelites, so-called Blacks and Americans and Latinos and Hispanics whose seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I do not care if an Edomite off themselves. Good riddance. I don't care about the other tribes on this earth, okay? What we're talking about is the children of Israel, okay? Let's go into 2nd Ezra 16 and start verse 19, because we've made it very clear through the prophecies that this is going to happen. If you're not walking around daily with this in your mind, okay, you're delusional, okay, and when these pangs and sorrows hit you, okay, they're going to be in your mind. They're going to destroy you, okay, very quickly, okay? Not only are you going to be useless to yourself, but you're going to be useless to others around you, okay, because you're going to break down. And we're particularly talking to you men out there, okay? The Lord requires you to gird your loins up like a man and be a fucking man, okay? This is 2nd Ezra 16, so verse 19 reads, Behold, famine and plague, tribulation, anguish, are sent as scourges for amendment. Before all these things they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals should be so good cheap upon earth that they should think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish with famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So, again, that sword, it isn't necessarily coming from Esau. Esau doesn't have to be the one that have to put the AK-47 to your head or the M4 to your head and blow your brains out, okay? Or chop your head off with the guillotine, okay? You see Jake them self-icing himself, okay? So that sword, the destruction by sword, can be the Lord have you in such a depressive state, mind state, that you would take it and off yourself, okay? And that's the Lord getting rid of you. That is a judgment, all right? Okay, so the scriptures don't lie, okay? And we've brought it out to you many times. You don't like to hear it because you want to hear lies, and things are going to get better. Not for you, okay? It's not going to get better for you. It's going to get better for the elect. The elect also has to go through the trials, okay, and tribulation that the Lord has prepared, okay, for the children of Israel to go through, okay? This is 2nd Ezra 16, verse 68, it reads, For behold, the burning rod of the great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols, which we know is going to be the MOTB, okay? And, you know, they can try your fate, okay? And they that consent unto them should be had in derision and a reproach and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Every day I look at my house and I go, you know, one day, they're going to come. One day they're going to come. I look at my neighbors, them, and I go, yep, they are going to come one day, you know. What does it say? You know, a neighbor should have no pity, okay, upon his, a man should have no pity upon his neighbor, but spoiling and, you know, taking away shit, you know, basically, you know, armed robbery, maybe even putting people in the spirit world just for food, okay? And this is how things is going to be. So I walk with a constant mindset. Basically, I walk with a war spirit. Let's just put it that way. I walk with a war spirit. Somebody's going to want to kill me. And guess what? What the hell do you think I'm going to do? All right. You know, and I'm not saying it to be a carnal minded person. I'm just saying it's just the way it is. When you walk, when you're in this ministry and this truth, and you understand what's coming. Okay. You're walking around and you're like, you're a lion, not a pussy fucking cat. You're a lion. Okay. Because we understand the way the Lord Yahweh Shemashai deals. He's a man of war. He deals with what? Bloodshed. And this is exactly what's coming to Great Babylon, America. However, okay, Jake, who's in this ministry and who's in this truth, okay, and you're not really focused on this world so much, so to speak, Keep this in mind, because this is what we take to heart. This is Mark 13:20. It reads, "And except that the Lord has shortened those days, no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake, whom he has chosen, he has shortened the days." What days are those? Okay, it's going to be the tribulation that's going to be on this entire earth. These people are going to be running around. People that you probably might have seen out there, and they suit and necktie, corporate America. You know, they're the man. You know, in these businesses and stuff, and everything goes well in their life. Wait till things over there, like to say, shit hit the fan, and you're going to see prey and predators. Okay, you know the word that they use when they call guys bitches. You're going to see bitches. And studs, and that's what you're going to see. You're going to see cats or little kittens, and then the lions. All right, that's how it's going to be. All right, but the Lord is going to shorten it up. What? For the elect's sake, for all you people out there. For those of us who are the hopeful elect. Y'all should be grateful that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai don't completely allow this to just go into complete absolution, where there's nobody left. But because He has a chosen set of people on this earth that who's going to go through the fire, or tribulation, but He's going to save them. These days that is upon us right now is going to be shortened. So this has been "It Shall Destroy You from Within," and as you saw in that animation clip right there, you had that Jake that was doing well. Then he got the news. He's going to lose everything, and then there he is sitting down right there contemplating whether he should kill the people across the street or shoot himself. So Lord willing, the elect has been edified. Let us give all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.